Okay, so 12. The thing with 12 is that he's the most apologetic error and probably the most called out in universe. So this is, if 11 was setting obvious, this is even more so, but I'll try and make it fun. And I love 12. He is an adorable old man, but I'll manage 12 minutes hopefully. So okay, so first of all, I love season 8. I know a lot of people don't, but it's Clara and she's amazing and she is the Doctor. But this is about 12 and maybe I'll make a Clara video, but whatever. So yeah, love season 8, but the problem is that even though I love Danny and the fandom is pretty shitty to him like they were with Mickey, 12 is not great to Danny. I mean, yeah, the final is like always learn a lesson, and yeah, Clara tells him off, and Clara isn't exactly great to him either, but that is character-wise, but also, you know, Doylist-wise, they needed another black character to be shitty to, but whatever. So yeah, the caretaker, while a good Clara episode, is still kind of 12 in his I am a asshole genius, like I'm Dr. House or something, and he calls Danny P and doesn't listen to him, and it's like, oh, we've had this with Mickey, you don't need to be another shitty to the black boyfriend again. Have you learned nothing? So, I mean, I know Danny holds his own probably better than Mickey did, and he wasn't humiliated like Mickey was. And I also know that the fandom just always controlling. He's all for Clara, and it isn't helped by the show, and it didn't need to be written quite so old white guy is shitty to a black teacher. So that pisses me off about season 8. And there was a good cutscene in The Girl Who Died about 12 and Clara. I'm trying to remember the thing. He says they were a friend and she says he was a soldier. And I really wish she'd put that in, and obviously he's still dead and suicide man, but it would have kind of made things a little better. And I'm just annoyed by Danny's treatment in both fandom and the Heavenly Shipper stuff, because they're just like, oh, he's a distraction from Hufaldi, but I'm not going to go into shipping shade. So, season 8, I wish you had been less racist. Okay, I'm going to have an unpopular opinion on this one, and I know that a lot of people love 12 as the woke king, and he is in season 10, but in season 9 there is the Zygon invasion. I think both of them are like that title, and I just can't stand those episodes, because as hot as Clara is and as hot as Bonnie is and all that good stuff, it's just so centrist. And that speech that is in every fan video is great for character-wise and title-wise and for, you know, putting in fan videos, but as a political thing that the episode was trying to do, sorry, it's really bad in context, because it's just, oh, both of these sides are bad, shitty, whatever, and yeah, so I'm realizing now that I should have put context in, but okay. So at that point there was that whole thing with illegal immigrants coming into the UK, and so Doctor Who writers, as you know, liberal as they want to be, did their episode. And I think the guy did The Lie of the Land as well, which I do enjoy, Gus Missy. But he has some issues with political writing. So, I mean, any racism story, when the Zygons in this instance are actually doing bad things, never works. And get back to that speech, it's just white old man just telling everyone off and calling real issues like children. And I have gone on a lot about this, and I probably should stop, but I hate that episode so much, even though Bonnie can roar me. Okay, I'm going out of order here, but I just want to get all the most important things out of the way until I have any space for anything else. So the main thing in this kind of section is that he goes through so much trauma in the last few episodes, and as sweet and as traumatic and as sad it all is, he's still telling 13 to be kind, and he hasn't processed any of the trauma at all, and she has to deal with it, and she's a wreck, really. So, and this is like a less serious version of the other stuff, but it's hilarious how he just goes through so much in such a short time, and she's supposed to just be kind, and I will get to her in the next episode, and it's just, Doctor, you're a mess. It's just, I love Twice Upon a Time. He's very sweet. It's a great speech, but you were suicidal, and you're telling your next incarnation to just be nice, and just be kind, and she's trying really hard but can't quite make it, and is probably, I'll get to her soon, but she's not doing so great. So yeah, that was a shitty move, I think. Okay, so I'm going to kind of defend and drag a little bit here, because this is about Missy and the vault, because I see people saying he abused her in the vault, and she wasn't abused, she was struggling, and he kind of was paternalistic, which I will hopefully be able to get to soon, and he kind of fucked things up for 13 and the Wand Master. So yeah, it was an abuse, but it wasn't the best idea ever, and it wasn't the kind of healthy, we're best friends now, or that people kind of like to have with Twissy in season 10 at least. So he was trying to get her to be his version of good, and as she said in Lie of the Land, his version of good is a exceptional standard and self-righteous and everything, really self-absorbed and hypocritical, and we've seen all this, and obviously the Dr. Falls ends in tragedy, and again the Wand Master has to deal with the fallout for all that trauma, and while obviously going back to he wasn't abusing her, he does have a right to be suspicious, but she's crying. Can't you just give her a little more than that? And in World Enough of Time and his hope for her, and it all goes terribly wrong, and they will never find out what they did for each other, and it's all just so tragic and angsty, and And I think that's the point, that they were trying in the vault, but didn't come close enough. And now the One Master and 13 are all broken again. And like the annual says, and like the Tyler's children said, the fact that they were so close kind of ruined things anyway. So I think I'm talking more about 13 and the other master than actual 12, but he set things off into motion. How about that? So okay, so I get that this is the point that he's like literally called out on it in Hellbent, but it's just a press writing video, so might as well. It's paternalism. Like every doctor has that trait, but it's more obvious with Clara because she is pretty much just the doctor, and Bill, who should have been protected in a better way than she was, but obviously she got her happy ending. Clara got a happy ending, and it's all good. But he spent all of season 9 just being like, oh, I've ruined Clara, and I should wipe her memory, and obviously she calls him out on it, and the show calls out on it for Donna, and Donna deserved better, as you can tell. So, but yeah, I don't actually like season 9 that much. I mean, there are great episodes and there are great character moments, but it is mostly just 12 fretting about Clara when she actually did stuff in season 8, and I've rambled. And okay, so he should have protected Bill better. The bold enough of time, it was a bad plan. He was grumpy to Clara in season 8. He had trauma and dealt with it by being a grumpy old Gus of a man. What else is there? Jesus, not telling anyone about his blindness. The lie of the land and the monks was a bad idea, and it wasn't literally called out on it, but oof! Okay, I rambled a lot in that one. Sorry. I'll do 13 even though she hasn't had her full 3 seasons whenever she's going to go, which I hope she doesn't because I love 13. Anyway, so I will see you all next month, even though it's like the 31st. This has all been very long-winded, so I'm going to try and melt down the paternalism thing. And I'm trying to get my words out, but it is very late. But okay, so this is called out. This is the point. This is what Clara tells him in Hellbent, that he is paternalistic over his companions and they don't need it. So, and obviously Clara is her own fucking doctor, and he's just like, oh, I need to erase her memories. You know, I don't want to die again, and I need to stop